Is your pool water cloudy or hazy? I'm Matt from Swim University, and there are a few chemicals that you can add to your pool right now that'll clear things up in just one day. But before you add any chemicals to your water, how's your water circulation? Because I always tell pool owners that the best way to clear cloudy water is good filtration and good circulation. Chemicals help, but they can't do the job alone if your equipment isn't pulling its weight. So before you add anything, you want to run through this short circulation checklist. Number 1, clean or backwash your filter, because a dirty filter can't catch those fine particles that are causing the cloudy water. So you want to clean your filter grids or backwash your sand or DE filter. And if your sand or your cartridges are more than 3 to 5 years old, well, it's probably time to replace them. Number 2, run your pump long enough, because all of the water needs to cycle through your filter at least once a day. That usually means running it about 8 to 10 hours a day, but you want to run it more if it's cloudy. Number 3, skim, brush, and vacuum. Debris breaks down into tiny little particles that make your water look cloudy. Skim, brush, and vacuum weekly to keep this from happening. Number 4, empty your skimmer baskets and your pump baskets, because full baskets can choke off your circulation even if the pump is running fine. You want to check and empty these at least once a week. Now, if your filtration was the real problem, you might be done. You just give it a day with all of this dialed in and see if the water starts clearing on its own. But if your filtration is good and the water is still cloudy, let's move on to chemicals. Cloudy water almost always comes down to one of two chemistry problems. There's something in your water that your filter can't catch, or your water chemistry is out of balance. We're gonna fix both with the right chemicals, so here's what to use. Chemical number 1, chlorine shock. Chlorine shock kills algae and bacteria, which can cause that hazy look. Now, even if your water isn't visibly green, early stage algae can cause cloudiness. So you want to start with a double dose of chlorine shock, like calcium hypochlorite or even dichlor shock. That's 2 pounds for every 10,000 gallons of water you have. Now, keep in mind that your water might get more cloudy right after you shock, and that's from the dead algae suspended in the water. Just run your filter for the next 24 hours or more, and it should clear up on its own. Now, if you're already been shocking regularly, or it's cloudy a few days after shocking, it's time to try some other chemicals. So, chemical number 2, Clarifier. This is one of my favorite chemicals because it is so easy to use and it works with any type of pool and filter. Water Clarifier is a coagulant. That means it takes the tiny suspended particles and binds them together into big enough clumps that your filter can trap. Normally, those particles are just too small for your filter to capture, and that's what's lingering in the water and causes that cloudiness. Add a clarifier once a week as part of your regular routine, or just whenever the water starts to look dull. I just wouldn't overdo it, because too much clarifier can actually have the reverse effect and make the water cloudier. So follow the instructions on whatever clarifier you have. Chemical number 3, non-chlorine shock or chlorine-free shock, or what's called Oxidizer. If your pool has gotten a lot of use recently, but you don't want to jack up your free chlorine with chlorine shock, then I would try a non-chlorine shock, which is also called an oxidizer. Now, when chlorine kills contaminants, it forms combined chlorine. These are also known as chloramines. Now, this used up chlorine is less active in your water, and when your water is less sanitized, it gets more cloudy. So, non-chlorine shock oxidizes those chloramines and frees up your active chlorine to get back to work. Now, it's safe to add to any pool, and the best part is that you can swim 15 minutes after adding it. Now, if you're not sure if your pool needs chlorine or non-chlorine shock, you can plug your test results into the Pool Care app. It'll tell you exactly which type of shock to add and how much. Chemical number 4 is flocculant. Now, if your water is so cloudy that you can barely see the bottom, it's time to bring in flocculant, or the short name, Flock. It works just like Clarifier in that it binds all those particles together, but it's a bit more powerful. However, there's one catch. Instead of sending those clumps of particles into your filter, it drops them straight to the bottom of your pool. Once the flock settles, you'll need to vacuum it out manually using the waste setting on your multi-port valve on your filter. We have a full video on how to vacuum on the waste setting if you need more help. One final thing to note, your regular water chemistry can actually cause cloudy water. That means high pH, alkalinity, and calcium hardness can all cause a cloudy haze in your water, no matter how much clarifier or shock that you add. And if your calcium hardness is too high, it can lead to both cloudy water and scale buildup on your pool surfaces and your equipment. Check out the video on calcium hardness harness if you need more help with this one. There's also something called carbonate clouding. Now, if you've recently added shock, baking soda, or even pH increaser, and the water suddenly turns milky, well, that's usually calcium ions reacting and falling out of solution. So test your levels and bring down your pH, your alkalinity, and your calcium hardness if they're too high. And if you want more help getting all of this dialed in without the guesswork, you can check out the Pool Care app. Just enter your test results and it builds you a custom treatment plan based on exactly what your pool needs. You can get your 7-day free trial over at swimu.com/app or by searching Pool Care by Swim University in the App Store. That's it. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy swimming.